All right. What's up? Hopefully everybody could see me. And let's begin this class right now. So for today's class, we're looking into English A revision. We're looking into a lot of different terms, interesting terms for today. So without further ado, let's begin this class. So for those of you who I've texted and replied to and what's not, yeah, guys, supposed to get like a documentation. I don't know if you could see here exactly. But a document like this, let me just put it up on screen for everybody to see. Just give me a sec, guys. So I wait until everybody is here so I could start the stream. So is everyone here with me today for this? Is everyone here? So all right, so today we're looking into the English A test, and this test will most likely be on the revision terms. I send a link to you guys about the test down below in the comments. I'll do that at the end of the video. But for now, hopefully I could sit back, relax, and let's start this, and hopefully everything is okay. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me clearly? So give me a sec. I put up screen. Can everyone see that? What is on screen? Can everyone see what's on the screen at the moment? Please type it down below in the comments. So for this, today and tonight, we'll be looking into English A test instructions. We're looking into some things that we looked through for the past term. So sit back, relax, drink a cup of coffee because this will be a very much strenuous class. So let us begin on this, right? Can you see what's on? See the Word document? If you can't see, please type in the comments below. I'll message you and make corrections to that. All right, good. Good, Joel. So let's begin this class by going into this test is divided into two segments. Segment number one will be the practical aspect, and segment number two, which will be the application aspect. So before actually going to the application aspect, you need to understand the practical aspect. So for those of you here who don't understand what is a mixed metaphor, so let me just type it here. A mixed metaphor is a combination of two metaphors that cause confusion to mixed metaphors is a combination of two metaphors that do not go hand in hand. So that is what a mixed metaphor is. So a mixed metaphor can be defined as a combination of two metaphors that causes confusion to the audience. So it is usually confusing, and it usually gets readers very confused and don't understand what's really going on. What a mixed metaphor is. It's two metaphors. Let me see, could just highlight it. Two metaphors that causes confusion to the audience. That is what mixed metaphors are in a nutshell. Let's highlight that. So how do you distinguish a fact from opinion? This would be the first thing we did for the tour, I suggest. And how do you identify, or how do you know that something is opinion? How do you distinguish what you would consider to be a fact from an opinion? So let me just write this down. A fact is something proven through evidence. So a fact is something that can be proven through evidence. But opinion is something that you personally to be right. So within writing, right, how do you distinguish a fact from opinion? So within facts, or within a fact is something that can be proven through evidence. Within writing, or within so a fact is something that can be proven through evidence. That is what a fact technically is. But however, or on the contrary, an opinion is something that you personally. So we're going to that right now. So a fact, let's put that up right now. A fact can be distinguished by doing a couple of things, just like that's right there, just to show you what's going on there right now. So a fact, how do you notice a fact within a paragraph, or how do you notice a fact within a piece of writing? One way you could notice it is export opinion. One way you could notice a fact within a piece of writing is through an export opinion. That is one way you could notice it. So let me just highlight this thing here to show you guys what's going on. So export opinion. Majority of you, or close to all of you, might be asking the big question right now. What is this something called export opinion stuff? What is this export opinion? So an export opinion, in a nutshell, is when someone who has probably great amount of knowledge states something. For example, within a piece of writing, according to scientists within Bartic, or within Guyana, or within the Caribbean, have said that drugs are bad, and that would be an expert opinion. Expert opinions are always correct, always on point. But another thing, or another way you could distinguish a fact from opinion is through evidence. Another way you could do that is through evidence. Keep that in mind. So there's two ways that you could distinguish a fact: export opinion, or by way of evidence. So let me just put that up there now. And for those who have sent the document, though, if you see you got anything, you see you got any of these answers here, please mark it correct. So that is what a fact. That is how we distinguish a fact from opinion. So let me go back to that. A fact is something that you prove through evidence. However, an opinion is something that you personally believe is right. So a fact and opinion are two separate things entirely. So let us go into the other aspect, which is opinion. How do you know something is an opinion or not? So whenever something is happening, whenever an opinion is happening, you would always find I believe this is right. I believe. And another term would be likely. This is likely to happen. When you hear these two terms, likely and I believe, it is usually always an opinion. This is how you identify opinions within a person. Just change this thing. Just give me a sec, guys. So whenever you are hearing of an opinion, you usually hear the term I believe, likely. Yes, now. And you would hear something along the lines like that. Likely, I believe, or that's no. That's no. Another interesting term would be it seems. These terms, if you're seeing them within a passage, just know that it is an opinion. If somebody begins that I believe this is right, or this is likely to happen, or it seems as though this and that, it is usually an opinion. So a fact could be proved through two ways. Through number one, an expert opinion, or through number two, by the term of it seems. So back to topic. So the third thing I like to look for tonight is what are transitional words? So transitional words, or what are the transitional words for supporting evidence? You might ask the question, what is even this supporting evidence stuff? What is this thing I'm talking about? So supporting evidence. Supporting evidence is something that adds to something else, something that puts on something to something else. So whenever you're writing, you have heard the term in addition, furthermore, more so, and stuff along them lines. These are something called supporting evidence. But these words are usually to add something. Some good examples of supporting evidence would be, for example, for example, for instance, furthermore, in addition, and things around these lines. When you hear these terms like in addition, for example, for instance, furthermore, in addition, alongside with, these things or these words in general, these terms here, this thing is here, these terms in general, usually means that they add some things. For example, we have 2 points, we have two ideas. This is, let me just label this as P, right? So P represents pollution, right? And this over here also represents P, and this represents P2. Just give you an example, just give you a hypothetical situation. So we're talking about pollution. This P here represents pollution, right? This P represents pollution. So now P2 wants to support pollution, right? So listen to how the structure of it would be. Pollution is dangerous. And I could say, furthermore, it is dangerous to our health. And this adding something to the pollution already, adding something more to it, giving more life to it. And that is what supporting evidence does. It adds something to something else. It adds more points to a point already. For example, if you're talking about your school life, you're talking about school life is good, or school life is good. For example, I usually spend my days with my friends, or I usually spend my days with my colleagues. It's adding something to something already. It's like if I have this tape here, and I could probably turn up the volume extremely hard, and that is what transitional, and that is what supporting evidence does. It turns up the volume, it adds more life to something, it adds more points to it. And this is done in every writing. But then you get the example, if you read a lot, you might find within books, within a character, I want to do this. And then you would say, furthermore, I want to do it this way and that way and that way. So supporting evidence add more life to already present point. It brings more thing to the table. It puts more to the table. So, for example, for instance, furthermore, and in addition, if you have any of these answers, these are correct. So this is what transitional, this is what supporting evidence are. So back to the topic again, and our next question up on the list is define construction shift. What is construction shift? So back to the topic at hand is, what is construction shift? Why? What do I mean by the term construction shift, right? And just to reiterate, for benefit of those who are not here at the moment, you could watch back the video probably at the end. So what is construction shift? This is an English test paper that I have distributed to some persons. I'll send a link down below. So check out that, do it out, work on it. Important for CSEC. So what is construction shift? So within English literature, construction shift, let's put it up here, construction can be defined as the rearrangement of a sentence but still retaining its original meaning. So construction shift can be defined as a rearrangement of a sentence, but still retain its original meaning. So if I'm saying Sally is stupid, and I could change the word, and I could change the structure. Sally, if I say Sally is stupid, how can I rearrange it? I could say stupid as Sally. if I was to say Sally is stupid and stupid is Sally, it would still mean the same thing. But at the end of the day, Sally is stupid. If I write the sentence, my dog is happy. You could say happy is my dog. Is it's kind of very simple because construction shift just means rearranging words, rearranging the words of a sentence, a paragraph, or whatnot, but still maintaining its original meaning. It's kind of like paraphrasing, but just before that one, paraphrasing just writing over something back, but writing back in your own words, but still retaining its original meaning. And that's the same thing with construction shift. That's what construction shift does. So construction shift can be defined as the rearrangement of a sentence. Let's take this ready. But still listen to this, but still retaining its original meaning. That is what construction shift is. It's the rearranging of a sentence, of a paragraph, or what's that, but you still retain its same meaning. So that is what construction shift is. So what are equivalent sentences? Equivalent sentence and construction shift are basically the same thing. I'll put it in that amount of words. They are basically the same thing. We don't need to go into all of that. I'll make a separate that, but it's the same thing as construction shift. Construction shift and equivalent sentences are basically the same in a nutshell. So don't worry about that too much. So now we finish off section 1. Now it's time to go into section 2, which is the practical aspect. The practical aspect is very simple. I created the test so that anyone who have much least the first aspect can be able to do. So now let us start. So the first thing we're going to look at would be construction shift. I will not be writing on this. I will leave that to you guys, but I will help you. So here's instructions. Reconstruct the original sentence by following the instruction given. In doing so, retain the meaning of the original sentence. As I said before, construction shift is a rearrangement of words, but still retaining its same meaning. So let us start by looking into the first segment. So it says here, we have no choice but to refer you to the disciplinary committee. So it says, begin with, you leave us no choice. So no choice is here, right? It says we have no choice, but it says leave us, we and us is still the same thing. It's technically the same thing. So what you can do now is say you leave us no choice but to refer you to the disciplinary committee. And that's all you have to do. That's one whole thing done here. So let me just write that down and let me show me. So you say you leave us no choice. No choice but to refer you to the disciplinary committee. And that's it. That's how simple it is. So you just change up the wording, but you still retain its same meaning. So you have 3 main points within the first sentence. It says us. It says no choice, but refer you to the disciplinary committee. So the thing you need to do now is just put in this here and just say you leave us no choice. You stop right up to here, right up to this point here. Because put 1 point right here. Let me just go in a bit so I can show you guys what's going on. So it says you leave us no choice. Give me a sec. Up right there. It says you leave us no choice but refer you to the disciplinary committee. And if you could see right here, it says no choice. It says the same thing here. You leave us no choice, and that is right where it ends. Only thing you need to do now is include this segment, and that would be that's all you need to do, and then you're finished. Very simple, very easy. So let us start on the other aspect, and let me just highlight some things so that you guys could understand better. So within a sentence, it says you leave us no choice. And then within the sentence, it's a beginning, you leave us no choice. So that ends right here. And then you just need to write this. You just need to add on that. You just need to add on that rest. So this is how the sentence will sum at the end. You leave us no choice but refer you to the disciplinary committee, and that would be it. Going on to our next aspect, which is arrive at Miami International Airport at 11:30. So let us online this. The aircraft departed at 8 a.m. So this here cover off this the aircraft departed at 8 a.m. covered whole here. So the thing we need to do now is write the aircraft departed at 8 a.m. and so we change this the to an and because it have to flow. It have to go in a prose form. So let me just write that here now. So what we write instead is the aircraft is to begin with. The aircraft departed at 8 a.m. and arrived at Miami International at 11:30 a.m. and that's it. So it says begin the sentence with the aircraft departed at 8 a.m. and arrived at Miami International Airport 11:30 a.m. So you just add on the aircraft arrived at Miami International Airport at 11:30 a.m. and that would be the completion of this sentence. That's all you need to do, and that would be the end for so that's that. So I leave the last one to you guys to do, and I'll be right back. So I'll try to leave that last one to you, and I will go on to the next aspect, which is mixed metaphor. So they go on to the second one. It says identify the mixed metaphor and state how they are incorrect. So it says here, the ball is in your court, but the clock is ticking. So I will not answer this one, period, but you can type in the comments what do you believe is the correct answer. So the ball is in your court. That's the force mixed metaphor. And just to distinguish them, I'll use another color. But the clock is ticking. Is this confusing? The ball in your court refers to something that you possess, something that you have, something that is going that you have to give up. The ball is in your court, and the clock is ticking, mean times is running out. But these two metaphors do not work together, and that's what mixed metaphor are. They're two metaphors that you just push together, and they do not work well with each other. Let's take just think of this canvas here. Yes. So back to this one. The ball is in your court, but the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking means that you're running out of time, whilst the ball in your court refers to something that you have to give up, like to a judge or to like someone or something that you have to give up. But how does you have to give up something and time running out? The same. These two things are confusing because you might say, "Oh crap, the ball. I have to give up something, but how do I have to give up something and time is running out? That does not work either." So this here is the metaphors. How is this? How is it incorrect? This is incorrect because the ball in your court refers to something that you have to give up. But that's something you have to give up. Might take years, might take centuries. And it says here within the other segment of the other metaphor right here, it says the clock is ticking. And that is incorrect right there. That is error for there. So moving on, it says she has a heart of gold. A heart of gold means that you're true, you're honest, you're authentic, but her bark is worse than her bite. How is that? That is contradictory. It's like saying like you are a kind person, but you are horrible. That does not make sense. That is total contradiction. So she has a heart of gold, and those two things they contradict each other very, very badly. She has heart of gold, and the term her bark is worse than her bite. error within this passage would be the fact that it contradicts each other. It is totally wrong. Contradiction. He's a diamond in the rough. Diamond in the rough refers that you're valuable. You're valuable. You have value, has aesthetic value, meaning that you're delicate because a diamond is hard to find and it's even delicate. So when it says he's a diamond in the rough, it means that he's delicate, he can easily be hurt. But here's a contradiction here. It says, but he's my knight and shining armor, knight in shining armor. How can a diamond, or how can somebody who is fragile, who is somebody who is innocent, somebody that does not like to fight, how can that force be your knight and shining armor, protecting you from danger? That does not make sense. It contradicts each other. So that's the error in here. The error is the fact that something that is delicate, something that someone who does not want to fight, how can that person protect you? How can that person guard you from evil? And that's the contradiction. That is the error within that passage. And for the last one, it says we need to strike while the iron is hot. Striking while the iron is hot means taking advantage of the opportunity while it's there. However, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It means you can't have a cake and eat it too. It means that you can't have success and you can't have your cake and eat it too. Mean that you can have success and enjoy it at the same time. You can't try for success and have it at the same time. This is contradictory and confusing because how can somebody strike while iron is hot and same time doing a set of other achievement, trying to achieve a set of other things at the same time trying to enjoy it? That is total confusion. So the error within here is the fact that you cannot take an opportunity while at the same time trying to achieve something in life and at the same time trying to enjoy it at the same time. That's confusion and it's contradictory. So that's the error for here. So I'll close stuff right here. And thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure being with you today. So guys, see you later. Please subscribe, like, and comment down below.